My little pony, my little pony.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode 10, recorded on, my notes are wrong, June 25th, 2011. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining in for another show. Once again, this is Apple Cider running the boards and doing everything fun over here in my base station Alpha, way far away from my co-host and birthday boy.
Hello, every pony. I am Chef Sandy. And yes, yesterday was my birthday.
Birthday! Woo! Older!
Indeed.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm probably a good deal older than a lot of people involved with ponies, but still not older than some of our guests, so I'm okay.
And likely not older than me. I'm probably one of the olders. The gray hoof somethings. Hey. After I'm 30, yeah, that's the turning point.
Yeah, then your fetlocks get all ugly looking, and your tail starts losing hair, and your mane gets all droopy.
Yeah,
you start looking like Granny Smith.
Yeah, it deteriorates like that.
Yeah, it's
gone.
You just shrivel up like a raisin.
Oh, that's disturbingly disgusting to me.
Well, if that's the case, though, I mean, a couple of our guests would have already been there, so they're not, so we're okay.
It's not. It's very cool. But, yeah, thanks very much, guys. This is episode 10, so we've actually cracked double digits. Go us. Woo!
Ooh.
Yep. And today, as we said, we are doing a very special show. We probably should do this every 10 episodes or show. 10 episodes or so. So that we can go through all these emails, because you guys just completely overload us with fan love, and that's awesome.
We get a lot of emails.
Woo, it's amazing. Anyway, we've trimmed down the show a little bit, so this is a little special. Also, you'll notice just me and Chef. We're rocking it 2-man on this one.
Yep, we should have a guest. We'll have a guest next week, but this week it's just us.
Yeah, you get to listen to our dulcet tones for a while.
Yeah.
So. Let's do this. So we got news, we got our cool thing, and then we got a bunch of emails and suggestions and stuff all packed in the middle. So let's get this over with. So how do you feel about presidents there, Mr. Sandy?
I think this particular president was pretty good.
And who would that be?
That would be Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
He was on NPR here the other day, and there's a link in the show notes that goes to a link that you can read the transcript of, where he was asked questions about My Little Pony.
On what show?
On Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is, I think, the second time they've talked about bronies.
Yeah,
or ponies in general.
I think they talked about it last week, and it was kind of like, oh, those weirdos, ho, ho, ho. But this week it looks like they actually, piled into it and, pulled a little bit more information. So, word is, when I was reading one of the comment threads, that one of the people was like, actually, I'm like an intern for Wait, Don't Tell Me. And once I heard that, I was like, no, let's do this again. I can supply you with information and, let you understand it a bit more. And so they asked Bill Clinton pony questions. They had 3 questions based off of My Little Ponies.
It's like, one of the ponies is Rarity. What is her enthusiasm? They asked the question.
What's the question? I'll play Bill Clinton.
Okay, are you ready for this, Mr. President?
I gotta find my place. Hold on. I was president of the United States. It was a fun job I had.
One of the current ponies is Rarity. That is her name, Rarity. What is her particular enthusiasm? A, she loves her little line of toys called My Even Tinier Ponies. Soundbite of laughter. Giving other ponies makeovers, or eating paste.
Eating what?
Eating paste, sir, Mr. President.
Paste.
Paste, paste, sir.
B.
And that's pretty much how it probably went. And then they actually created a fantastic new character. I cannot wait to see the fan fiction. The third question they ask is who's the antagonist of the show? And Crastus the Gluemaker, Nightmare Moon, or the cynical grown-up Chester. And the president got it right. And people are already going, there needs to be fan art or, story between Crastus shipping with Nightmare Moon.
If he's not, he ought to be.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And he got all three right, which I think officially makes him a brony, regardless of what anybody says. I'm seeding that right now.
There you go.
Yep. So we officially have added Keanu Reeves, Hulk Hogan, and Bill Clinton as bronies, regardless if they actually are.
Pony Mania is running wild on you, brother.
Yep. So let's move on. As of yesterday, also, ponies is the bestest meme. Whoopee, whoopee. Very awesome. So what happened is that there's this little website called Know Your Meme. And Know Your Meme pretty much is a internet collection of all the crazy, psycho, weird stuff that you can find on the internet. And the ponies had been growing extremely fast and had been in the number 2 position right behind Forever Alone. And as of yesterday, not only became the most popular meme on the site, but was the first to also, on the same night, crack 2 million views.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yep, so ponies is now the biggest thing ever on the internet, as far as I can tell.
Let's confound those ponies. They drive people to click on Know Your Meme.
And put auto refreshers on their browser, kind of like me. I was part of that. I did it.
Oh, you.
I know. I'm such a bad influence on myself.
Well, that's good. Yay, we get to, be number 1 over, Rage Face or whatever?
Rage Face. I'm sure that there's some other ones. A matter of fact, it's kind of funny on that site and also on other sites. With the pony stuff, they have to, rein them in. This weird fandom is like a meme generation machine. There's already something out there, which is the Sweetie Belle Darrell face.
Yes.
Which is just, just this face. It's already taken off as its own little side meme, and it's just, it's all based off of just one image, and it's just bizarre. It just creates its own weird stuff. It's like its own cluster of the internet. Take one of those old, internet maps charted out for stuff, and now we have to have the continent of ponies somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Stuff's oatmeal, kids. All right, let's see. Moving on. Hey, you want to tell me about let's talk about some jobs. Some people want some jobs.
Well, there is, and this was something that Golden Russet, aka, Jason the Sign, posted, is there is a job openings at DHX Media, which is based out in Canada. Darn it. Of course, the link that's on Equestria Daily is not available.
I can find it. Pretty much the basis of what's on there is, do you happen to live in Canada? Perhaps even Vancouver? Are you Canadian, which is kind of an important part to that? Are you an animator / poser, supervisor, animation revisionist, designer, or storyboard artist? If so, DHX is looking for people, and Studio B, who makes ponies, is part of that. So if you are a Vancouveran or looking at being Vancouveran, and you have those talents, go for it.
More people from the fandom can ascend to actually working on the show.
Or other shows. And make other shows better. Heck, they had Martha Speaks, which, I think is pretty cool.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
Go get yourself an animation, kids. Not like you're doing anything else with your Minecraft and your Terrarias and
Team Fortress 2s.
Which is free, and you can get a Pinky hat and have an Applejack mod. I really want to play that now. That's free. Yeah. Even though I purchased it. I purchased that sucker. I didn't play it. Now I'm like...
Well, see, now you'll get a special hat because you purchased it.
I did? Ooh, cool. I didn't know I'd get a hat.
Ooh.
You know what? Forget this show. Let's go play some TF2.
Okay.
All right. Bye, kids.
I've got a bunch of spare items
Yeah.
I can throw at you.
All right. Let's do this. I'm going to roll as, tell you what, I'll go as a medic. What do you want to go as?
I will be the heavy.
All right. Let's do this.
No.
I am fully charged. All right. Go. All right. We're good.
So the next thing on our news list is this My Little Pony Fighting as Magic, which is a fighting game done with ponies. You know, you wouldn't think that ponies fighting would be cute. And really, you know, it's like I just cannot see, you know, Fluttershy actually hitting some pony, or there's some pony hitting her. She'll be like a locked character that nobody can use because just hitting Fluttershy would be too sad. But it looks really good. The animation is very smooth. The music done by Rainbow Crash 88 is really, you know, fighting gamey. And there is a link in the show notes.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial. I was actually, while you were talking, trying to figure out how you would fight Fluttershy, and it would just simply be the fact that if you hit Fluttershy, it hurts you more.
Yeah, you just lose.
Oh, I feel so bad. I didn't want to do that. Now she's no. Oh, I'm so. Tell you what, I'm just gonna leave. I feel terrible, and this nothing is going good with this. So I'm just gonna. I don't think that'll work. but yeah, I mean the image, like I am not a fighting game person. Like I'm terrible at them. RTSs and fighting games are two things that I've never ever been good at. And yeah, I'm looking at this and going, okay, I maybe could be a little interested. Oh God, it looks so good. Oh, it looks kind of good. Yep. So check that out. That's all in our show notes, which you can find over at BronyShow.com. Go check that out and take a look at them. Those are all four very, very, very cool little pieces of My Little Pony newsness. So if you want to go from Bill Clinton to fighting ponies, you can totally do that and, you know, find those links. All of them pretty much go to Equestria Daily, which is a cool site. Thanks, Seth. We love you. Kisses. Hey, email time. Da-da-da-da-da.
You know, insert sound of the telegraph here.
So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got a lot. Anyway.
Yeah, but they'll be pretty quick.
Yeah, we've got a ton here. I do have to say, I had to trim some of these, and you may not be on here. Some questions are easier done on the show as not. One thing I am kind of trimming, which we can kind of go to, is, and I just want to discuss this. I don't like getting into discussions just on the show about shipping. I mean, I like referencing it and being like, oh yeah, shipping exists, but getting into like, which do you think is the best? I'm like, I don't, that's a little bit, I don't know. It makes me feel icky.
Okay.
What are your feelings? How are you with that?
That's fine. I mean, we're trying to promote stuff that everybody can enjoy about ponies, and I'm pretty sure that shipping is something that not everybody will enjoy.
Yep.
And much like people don't really enjoy the grim, dark, sad, or, you know, war fiction, some people just don't want to hear about people writing stories about two main cast hooking up.
Yeah, I don't. Girlfriend is raising her hand. She's not as interested, but she doesn't read anything anyway. So, you know. Oh, and now she's making me a face.
Yeah, well, she can just put her sunglasses on and deal with it.
She's a double Gilda. That's what she is, you know. She's just a double Gilda. So yeah, let's start this up. We got a ton to go through, and as I said, short and some. If you're not on here, I'm sorry. We get a ton of these, as you will obviously see. So I guess I'll go ahead and start with the first one. This one is from Mike. Hey guys, just wanted to say first off, you guys are amazing. Keep up the good work. Also, in an upcoming episode, could you mention the information on the site, which he leaves a link here. It seems that the crew of My Little Pony are going to be outdone by Transformers the movie. I don't want this to happen. My Little Pony crew members deserve that nominee. We, as a community, should help get them nominated, don't you think? Thanks for reading my email. So let's click on this link, because I think I recalled that what it was that, going back in here, I thought that one actually said, but I think that it was Transformers, for whatever reason, was nominated for an Emmy. Emmy-nominated Transformers show, which I mean, good for Transformers, but it should be us.
Well, I could see, there's a lot of Transformers stuff out there, and unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that My Little Pony has been sort of shoved into the ghetto. Oh, it's a girl's cartoon, even though it's really not.
Well, we still have. It
is, but it isn't. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Transformers Prime, I thought it was kind of trash. Back when they were offering the first episodes of stuff from the Hub on iTunes, I downloaded them. Like the G.I. Joe one was pretty terrible. I didn't like that one. It actually already got canceled, I think.
Yikes.
Transformers was just not good.
I mean, this is all our opinions, by the way. Don't hate us, Hasbro.
This is purely my opinion here.
Don't hate us, Hasbro. We love you.
We like giving you money. Just make products we want.
Yeah.
I just don't like the insistence on having, human characters done with this heavily stylized CG.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it offends me.
Yeah.
Not like offend, but you know what I mean. I don't like it that much.
But how would we ever be like, how would we don't exactly, with Emmy nominations, it's not like there's a fan vote that's like, hey, you should vote.
No, there's really not. Unfortunately,
it would just take some of the Emmy nominees to actually go like, oh, I guess we should check out this My Little Pony show. Oh my God, I love Fluttershy, just like that. That's exactly how it went. Actually, they just clicked it on and immediately knew everything. So yeah, I mean that's it. It's kind of a bummer, but who knows? I'm sure that we've got at least two. I mean, we've got at least one more season, if not more, coming up. So maybe they will get Emmy nominated. So let's hit this up. You hit the next one there, Sandy.
All right. This email is from Hayden. Sup, Apple Cider, Chef Sandy, and possible guest. No guest for you this week. Sorry if this was written weird, but I'm on my phone. I'd like to say this show is hilarious and godlike. Also, I have to tell a certain listener that he deserves an achievement. The guy who talked about Jehovah's Witnesses being converted to the herd. I told the story to my friend, who is also one of them, and he immediately started watching the show. He has yet to hit the 4-episode barrier, but I think he's now a brony thanks to that listener. My question for you is, how exactly do you respond to your stereotypical acquaintances when they call you gay? I know I have my share of people that do this. Your faithful listener, Hayden, the Idaho Brony. P.S. Twilight Sparkle is a beast.
Beast! Yep. I've not had anybody be that adamant against it. It really is, most of them are just like, really? You like ponies? And I'm like, well, whatever. If anybody was just like, oh, God, you like ponies? That's so dumb and gay. I'd be like, all right, well, forget you too. I don't give a crap, it's just like I'm going to like stuff. There are plenty of things I'm sure you like that I don't really give a crap about. So, all right, good. That's we're on even keel here.
I've had some people give me guff over it, but ultimately, I'm doing a podcast about My Little Pony at 28, so I don't really care what other people think, and that should be fairly evident by how I live my life. And doing a pony podcast, well, I like ponies, and I like to tell people I like ponies. So haters gonna hate.
If it's, you could always jump on several things of like, I'm fine enough with my masculinity to know that even if something is a children's cartoon for girls, that it's not like, oh yeah, I totally watch this because I am gay. It's like, no, because it's good and I'm not, so shut in my own brain that I'm just like, I had the pink ribbon on it. No. Dude up. Like
they're talking about feelings. Turn that up, bro.
I think
I just turned a yay.
Man, Steelers scored another touchdown. I'm getting a tear. Nope. Suck it up.
All right.
Yeah, just don't let it bother you. That's lame sauce. They're haters and they're gonna hate. So that's bad. Anyway, let's do this. Moving on. Cloud Drifter of Florida. Nice.
I wonder where he's from.
Hola, AC and CS. Tease. Okay, I'll read this without the grammatical thing.
Odd Cloud Drifter.
Yeah. It's I, the ever odd Cloud Drifter. After hearing that you bros are all email episode, I had to attack the opportunity, so prepare for some kind of crazy questionist speech. So, is it just, or is there a lot of bronies that really wish the show would explore Celestia and, of course, Luna's past? I know as a community we see vast awesomeness. Just look at Ego Phallalic Comics. Hey, do you make those guys cry manly tears of men who love ponies? But will it ever happen? Wow. Well, whatever. Do you, dude, have any odd cartoons, animes that you enjoy as much as these multicolored equines? I loved Megas XLR and Cowboy Bebop, with some others through the years. I can't be the only brony out there that is excited for the new Thundercats and the Last Airbender series. Just wondering if an official MLP comic book came out, would you buy it? Also, just I can do this. My favorite pony is Fluttershy. Ag's favorite episode is a tie between Showstoppers and Green is Not Your Color. From the very crazy Pegasus, Cloud Drifter of Florida. P.S. More of this goo. Click here. Try and make a pony mental disorder. Post the pony's crazy, but how?
Okay, so I just want y'all to know that was AC reading the email straight. It's in the show notes, so you can look at it yourselves.
I love you, Cloud Drifter, but wow.
You should not. If Pinky has shared some of her special supply with you, don't try to write emails. Just wait for the trip to pass.
I love you, Cloud, but wow, I was like, can I do how now being here is seen? I'm like, no.
Okay, well,
all right. Let's try and distill these down because they're. All right. The first one I see is: are there any other shows we like? You are an anime fan. I am sadly not. I
am indeed.
So tell me what things you like right now.
Let's see. Right now, anime wise, I'm enjoying Tiger and Bunny, which is a superhero styled show. I'm also a fan of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I'm finally getting to enjoy on DVD. Yay, participation in the market. And Fullmetal Alchemist, and I'm rewatching Slayer's Try, which is goofy. I have quite a bit of anime that I own, and I also watch like Fringe, and some of Battlestar Galactica is pretty good. You know, Futurama's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not really a surprise to the people that know me well enough that I'm a big animation fan. I grew up on Disney films and Disney and like Secret of Nim, and I'm forgetting the animator's name. I am a person. Oh my goodness. You know, I have been a fan of animation my entire life, so liking ponies is not too much a stretch for me.
Yeah. I admit that my passion, like I am very selective about the things I get into to a terrible degree. Recently I've been finally getting down and watching and finished the first season of Torchwood, which, you know, first time I went through, I was like, nah, and then finally got through it. I'm like, okay, if you just look past that Cyberwoman episode, it's not too bad. You know?
Torchwood is so bad. Don't excuse it. It is a bad show.
No, it's
written by Russell T Davies. It is terrible.
That's first season finale. It was really weird, but you know, it's
no. And then Torchwood, like, what is it? Children's Day or whatever it was. The 5-parter, which is
we haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
it's so bad. Russell T Davies. He nearly drove Doctor Who into the ground. That's another show I watched.
Okay, yeah. As for other things, you know, I used to be very big into cartoons, and it just kind of anything I would watch. Let's see, was pretty big on a regular show for a while. That awesome show off of Cartoon Network. That's very very fun. I'm trying to think of anything I really got very obsessive about beyond, way back in the day when I had a Sonic problem. But yeah, I mean, I'm very bad selective about the things I watch. Yeah, but ponies have gotten me now, so that's pretty much, yep. If you need any anime suggestions, definitely go to Chef before you go to me. I got burned on anime a while back. Ended up getting way into Dot Hack, and then found out that series was a pile of trash. So
it's okay. I got sucked into it as well.
Yeah, that was. Well, did you end up spending like $2,000 on the Dot Hack card game only to find out that 6 months later it completely crashed? That burned.
No, I just bought the special edition box set from disc 1 and then didn't buy any others.
Yeah, that was not a good series.
I'm afraid that your fandom fail is much greater than mine.
Yeah, it did that. I wish I could have $2,000 back. Anyway, Chef, take me out of this Autumn Frost.
All right. So, from Autumn Frost, hey, Apple Cider and Stiff Shandy, I am Autumn Frost, and I have attached an image of my pony self for use on their website if you wish. Smiley face. Just one quick question, if it hasn't already been answered. Who is your favorite pony companion? Winona, Angel, Gummy, Opalescence, Owlowlicious, or Philomena? I personally find Winona the cutest, but she hasn't had a whole lot of airtime. I'm curious to know what you think. And thanks so much for putting together this podcast. It is not only great to hear people talk about ponies, but to hear from some of the most creative people in the community as well.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Let's see. I tell you what, you go ahead. What's your feeling on bests?
I think Angel of that list, because he's Angel's little grumpy kid. I mean, the Fluttershy's grumpy kid, and she tries to take care of him. She's like, eat the carrot. And he's like, no. It's just the way he acts.
Just the opposite.
The fact that Angel doesn't like Spike is oh my God, it's just like on Buffy.
It's so hard not to just because of all the airtime and just how bizarre he is, though. It's so hard not to make, a push for Gummy, just because it is that Pinkie Pie just bizarreness.
Then he gets older, gets his teeth.
Yeah, well, we've seen that. We've seen that. Those stories. But Gummy is just so weird, and it's just like Pinkie. You just sit there going like, "Yep, that." Just watching the weird eyes just blink independently of each other, and you're just like, that's so weird. I do have to agree. I know Fluff loves Winona as well. And he was like, I need more Winona. I want to see more. So I see it there. I kind of agree. It would be nice to have more of that. I think if any of them we need to see more of, it's Speedy. There.
Yeah, Speedy the Fanon turtle.
The Fanon turtle that Rainbow Dash has that is...
Well, actually, it's not a Fanon thing. In the upcoming fashion pony set Entertainment Earth has, it's like $72, and for some reason it's a 3-pack of each of the 3 new ponies that are coming out. Dash has Speedy.
Mm-hmm. So she has a turtle. She has a turtle. Somewhat canon. It's a turtle that's so fast that it's called Speedy. Yeah, but I think it's I kind of like them all. Let's see if those Owlowlicious. Yeah, I thought it was okay. Interesting episode. Opalescence. Opalescence is kind of interesting. There was one picture I sent to Chef a while back where it looked like Rarity had a scar, and he had to tell me that it was...
She was being a Bond villain.
She was being a Bond villain, but she had the scar over an eye. I'm like, who the hell messed up Rarity? Who's going to get hurt? I'm like, it's mimicking a Bond villain. I feel silly now.
You are a very silly pony, AC.
I do that sometimes. Let's move on. We have a long and very cool email from K-Cat, which if you know K-Cat and if you know the Equestria Fallout series, a very cool Brony who actually writes that. So I had some correspondence with him. Very cool series. Just so long. I'm going to have to read that someday because it's spawned its own like weird fan group around that. They're getting like pictures and everything.
It is crazy long too. It is a little bit daunting.
Said that he spends almost about 40 hours a week writing that too. Like, it's crazy. That's really neat. That's great, man. Anyway, let's go into K-Cat's mail. I decided to write an email directed towards the podcast, weighing in and arranging controversy and finally putting it to rest. Well, no, really. To wit, why Rarity is the best pony. As bronies, we've all found ourselves suddenly and inexplicably part of a large group of new friends, and a great many of us want to get back to the community. Furthermore, we're a naturally creative group, writers, artists, musical composers, and even, in the case of a few, podcasters, which I dare suggest is a form of art all its own. And suited for success, we found ourselves able to identify with Rarity suddenly and deeply. We understood her desire to create something beautiful for our friends. We recognized the work that went into our labor of love. And how many of us know the hurt of pouring ourselves into a project only to receive lukewarm reaction? How many of us know the frustration of trying to get proper feedback? Virtually every artist understands the need of emotion behind tell me. I, for one, feel Rarity's moan every time I prompt readers to give me detailed feedback, pushing for a Fluttershy response, well, only to get, well, I liked everything, which is totally a Rainbow Dash response, the compliment version of the supremely unhelpful. It needs to be about 20% cooler. Suited for Success wasn't an episode about making dresses. It was an episode about generosity and giving back to the community that you have grown to love. Twilight Sparkle, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy. We're all fans of them, but only Rarity has actually become one of us. And then she took it a step further, sacrificing her career, her livelihood, and one could even say her heart's desire since fillyhood, to give their friends what they wanted. And when everything came crashing down, she still walked out onto that runway and stood in front of everyone. And that is why, in my humble opinion, Rarity is the best pony.
Well then.
All right. That's a weird way to say Twilight Sparkle, but all right.
My slow clap function is entertained. Well, that's a fair assessment. She really did put it out there. But at least the episode had a good ending where, Hoity Toity came back around and was like, all right, here's a second chance. And she used the dresses that were the correct ones. And presumably he was quite happy with them. Yeah,
that was definitely an episode where anyone who's in a creative field was definitely like, I know that feeling. I know that, where you put yourself into it and they're just like, no, actually, could you change this to looking more at a beige color? And it's like, no, that would look terrible. Let me just tell you how terrible that would look. Yeah, but it's just not what I had in mind. Well, what did you had in mind? I don't know, just not this. Like, oh, so it's, I definitely from a creative standpoint, that was probably the episode that, from before that, Rarity was like, she's some sort of glamour pony, don't really care about. And then she had that episode and it's like, I get her. I got her. That's her. Gotcha. I now understand and really respect that character.
All right. So onward to the next one. And this is a name I recognize from the Wolfie Man. So, you're looking for questions from your readers, eh? Dangerous request, Apple Cider. Dangerous request. But one that I'll fulfill for you.
Bring it on. I ain't scared.
Here's a question I've been wondering about since Cutie Mark Chronicles. Whatever do you think happened to Ma and Pa Apple? It certainly seems that Granny Smith is actually Applejack and Big Mac's grandmother. But we don't see any hint that Apple Bloom had been born yet when Applejack heads off for Manhattan. And yet, Applejack seems to imply that it was just Big Mac and Granny Smith left back on the farm when she's feeling homesick. So are they just absentee parents, or is there something else going on here? Hope that guys gives you something to talk about. If not, I still look forward to the next show. Howlingly yours, the Wolfie Man.
So what do you think? That's getting into a little bit of, fan stipulation here, but where do you think her parents are? Huh? Their parents are.
And that's when Applejack bucks you in the jaw and says, "My parents are dead." No. As it's one of those things where it's probably for the sake of time and budget that they didn't just tack in 2 extra ponies that are to be, her parents. We've not seen, the only characters' parents we've seen are Pinky's and Twilight's. I think. I'm pretty sure that's about it. So I don't think they just really felt she needed to have the parents present in that particular scene.
I mean, there's some fun stuff that I know that people have done. I don't think, like, a lot of the fan stuff has it a little bit darker, where it's like, my pa died, and this is his hat, and which I'm like, yeah, well, okay. I mean, that kind of works. But it's a little bit darker than I think the show's intentions would be. I'm sure it would be something where it's like, oh, her parents are out, exploring and taking care of another apple farm, and they, they're just over there. And I think, the real fiction is going to be a lot more happy and not as like they died in a car crash. There's not cars. I think they'll eventually get to that, or they'll eventually explain it, and it won't be as dark. They're just somewhere else.
Or at least, in season 2, they might just have an episode where Applejack's parents come to town and see how she's taking care of the farm. They're older ponies, and,
Yeah, I mean,
that could totally happen. Dash's parents could still be around. Who knows?
Oh, God, Dash's parents. What would that be like?
Or it could be kind of nice, Pinky's parents come to town with, her sisters coming in and completely ruin the whole photo finish and Octavia fanon, which would be sad. But, her parents come to town to see how Pinky's living her life, and they, totally disapprove. And, it's like sometimes you disappoint your parents, but you have to be who you really are, is like the Aesop for that episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun ways they can go with it. So I think the best thing we can see is, let's see what season 2 brings. I mean, we could have a whole bunch of fun fan speculation, but, all of it could go right out the window the moment they say, and then Applejack's dad is a really big jerk, just like that. So, moving on. Hey, Foglove, we're doing your email now, so it's time to do it. A friend introduced me to My Little Pony a couple of months ago, and I guiltily watched the first episode late at night. Then the second episode because I couldn't stand cliffhangers, and then the third one because I wanted to see where the storyline would go. And by the fourth one, there was no turning back. I had to ration myself to 1 episode a night if I was good and worked on my commissions, because otherwise I'd run out of bubblegum-colored pony euphoria within a week. Then I discovered the massive musical community tucked away within the MLP fandom, which has been the only thing running through my headphones for weeks now. And just when I thought I was done with my pony binge, I found Brony show. And you evil, scheming, twisted ponies! With every episode, you introduce me to new, awesome things that I shouldn't have time to pursue, pouring it down my ears with the saccharine sweetness of your voices. Where does it end, I ask? Where? Okay, so maybe I shouldn't complain. Apparently my muse is an 8-year-old girl, and it's been stirred into a twisting, bouncing frenzy of artistic energy since I've started participating in the pony community. Anyway, silly question time. What exactly do you think Fluttershy does for a living? All the other ponies have a relatively obvious job they do to support themselves. Twilight Sparkle's living on, college grants and her parents' money. Applejack is a food vendor. Pinkie Pie is probably, a baker's apprentice. Rarity is money selling with her outfit. And Rainbow Dash is employed by the local government to keep the weather safe. So what about Fluttershy? She just wanders around, talks to animals. We see her take care of injured animals, but nobody ever specifically brought her an animal to tend to it for pay. I'm beginning to suspect that Fluttershy, in fact, a transient permitted to tend to any of the abandoned home out for pity, farming the land for her own sustenance. I smell a sad fic beginning to be made. One, you are welcome for the dramatic reading.
Okie dokie.
And, that's pretty much, the way I see her is she kind of is like a vet. I mean, kind of like a vet. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the local forest ranger. She keeps track on things coming in out of the Everfree. She raises chickens. She takes care of animals. You know, she took up lessons to the groomers for Rarity. She took care of a mouse, giving it little cast in a tiny wheelchair.
She keeps watch of giant mountains full of fire if they happen to have dragons in them, I guess, and then be scared of it.
You know, she does have a job, and she's probably an employee of the local government like Dash is.
Yep. I think that's good.
She is a civil servant.
There you go.
That's adorable.
The most civil servant.
Yes.
The civilest of servants. Okay, your turn.
Yay. This one is from Brash Stuff. It says, I just got done watching season 1, and after going back and watching some of the episodes again, I found it shocking how much my taste changed during the season. Ponies I disliked were now cool, songs grew on me, and some episodes were even better the second time through. What changed for you colts as you went through the season? The second time through? What didn't live up to the hype? For me, Pinky grew to be my favorite pony, surpassing both Rainbow Dash and Twilight Sparkle. Though I was underwhelmed by Party of One, and I went from severely disliking Rarity early on to loving the character in the latter part of the season. So, what did you like, or what changed as you rewatched the season?
You know what? I ended up appreciating Pinky a lot more. I think that's true, because at first she was just like, oh, she's kind of crazy and witty, but once you kind of take it out, you go like, oh, wait, no, she's kind of like that weird, crucial, weird glue. You know, if she wasn't there, half of the show wouldn't be as bizarre as it is.
So you could say she's the crazy glue.
She is crazy glue.
Holds the cast together.
You know what? When I first saw it, I didn't like Green Isn't Your Color. Or I didn't like not like it, but I was just like, oh, okay, all right, fashion show. All right, that's okay. And then I watched it again, and I was like, this is actually really good. Like, a lot going on in it, and a lot of silliness.
Most of the episodes, I've probably watched them all probably 2-3 times. I would say the ones that improved the second time around, probably like Call the Cutie and Showstoppers, which they're not the best episodes just by themselves, but once you know the characters of the CMC a little bit better later on, you know, it makes more sense. Yeah, how they interact.
Were you kind of like me, and when the CMCs first showed up, you were kind of like, "Oh man, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the Scrappy Doo. This is going to be that one piece of the show where you're just like, all right, good. I can just this is my out. This is my out. I liked it until this, and then there's just like, oh crap, they're good now."
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I heard so much hate onto the Showstoppers that I actually avoided watching it until after like the end of the season, and then I was like, all right, I'm just going to buckle down and watch this. I've heard it's bad, and they're singing an 80s rock ballad. This is actually kind of funny.
It really is something where it got better the more you like. I think it was actually after the Cutie Mark Chronicles that you were like, okay, you know what? I like them. They're charming. They have a quality to them that is a little bit special. And then you can go back and watch any of them. I mean, Call of the Cutie is, I think, still a little bit kind of off, but you see some of the other ones like, you know, like the Showstoppers, and you're like, okay, gotcha. That's that same feeling, but now I kind of identify more with them.
Yeah. And, I mean, some of the episodes that didn't live up to the hype for me, you know, it's like I've gone and rewatched Over a Barrel a couple times, and it's just not a good episode. I thought that Owl's Well That Ends Well was sort of goofy and just not that great of a show. I really liked Party of One, and I rewatched that the other day, and it's still crazy good. But, you know, I think now that I've sort of let it settle a bit, it's still, you know, a very good show that has a very large number of top-tier episodes.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We wouldn't be doing a show about it if we were like, I don't know, I only like a few of them. So let's move this on, and let's see. So let's do this. We got Skita, however I'm going to say that badly. I wanted to bring up something that's been mentioned before, but I don't believe you guys have discussed it in any great detail. I'd like to know your thoughts on Luna being in Season 2 and exactly how you see that unfolding. In my opinion, I think it's most likely that she'll start off at least as the fan in Luna, shy, timid, and the like. But I also think it's pretty likely that one of the running subplots in the second season will be the main cast helping to bring Luna out of her shell and open up a bit. Your thoughts? So, now you started with me, so now I'm starting with you. Chef, what do you think on Luna?
I think that the character, she'll probably... I can see it going two ways. I can see that she's, the emo princess girl that everyone wants to be, super protective of, and just sort of stay that way. And, I could totally see a couple episodes where Celestia's like, Luna, go make some friends. And, that's a Luna episode, which that would be great. But I could also see it, her being like, in the intervening year or whatever, she's gotten, and her character isn't anything like the fanon, which some people will probably take very poorly. Hopefully she'll say a little bit close to the fanon, getting used to the 1,000-year gap. And, I think the idea of the main cast helping bring her out of the shell would be a fantastic way for the show to go.
Yeah, I think the fanon with that, it's all based off of that one last little clip where she's just like, oh, I'm so happy, just like that, where it's just like, oh, she seems like nice and timid, and she's just this opposite thing to Celestia being like, I'm awesome, look at all I can do, her, kind of like the nice duality to it. I think I would like the kind of like soft-spoken, but kind of the Fluttershy, where, she might be a little bit crafty and wily under all that, soft exterior. There's something else to her.
She has slotted for a long time.
Yeah, so, you end up finding out this, like, yeah, I was on the moon for 1,000 years. Look at all these things I can do. It's like, wow, you did have a lot of free time. But, wow, okay. I made moon magic, moon math. Like, okay. That wasn't necessary. It doesn't really work here, but that's cool. But yeah, I think that all works. I think Luna will be all right. I think all that will be fine. So yeah, let's move on. Let's see. This one's so fun. You get the fun one.
I do indeed.
This one's super fun.
Dear Asian chef of the Brony show, there is something I would like to know. Still shunned and living out in Everfree. Strange equines and the beast you never see. Ponies claim tolerance and want to coexist, but just seem scared and speciesist. All very opposite to their teachings, if you ask me. What are your thoughts on this vile hypocrisy? P.S. There is a lack of love for the stripy queen. Seems all these ponies are a little mean. Don't believe fashionistas' negative hype. There's nothing cooler than a contrasting stripe. Yours sincerely, Mysterious Z. So, how about them zebras?
Oh, awesome. That's an awesome email. Actually, I want to see if I can pull up mine because I tried to
reply
in rhyme just so I made sure the translation worked. You go ahead and do yours. I want to pull up my my reply just because I thought I was so dag witty.
Well, most of the critters out in the Everfree would, be quite happy to eat ponies, so they can stay in the Everfree. They are, your traditional D&D monsters, the cockatrice and the manicore, and etc., and dragons, both green and red varieties, apparently. They're not very nice, and they would eat ponies. As for Zecora living in the forest, there actually was a pretty good story that I was going to list as my thing for the week called The Lower Deck Chronicles, which is a fan fiction series about how some background characters got their cutie marks. And the fourth one in the series was Zecora, which basically the reason, and within the story, it says the reason she's out there is, her mark is that of a healer among her people, and the reason she's in Everfree is that when she came to Equestria to be a doctor, well, there's a lot of doctors, but there's not people brave enough to go out and be like researchers within areas dangerous like the Everfree Forest. so that within that particular story, Zecora is like a research scientist living out in the Everfree, dealing with herbs and crazy wildlife out there to better further,
science.
Further pony science, yes.
Science, I say. Science again. I like Zecora. She was unfortunately only around for 1 inch of an episode, but yeah, nothing wrong with her. She's interesting. I like it, kind of the opposite of Twilight Sparkle's, like, let's go read some books. She's just like, eat a pear, you're good, go home. I do think she's a good character. I do hope that we see more of her. It'd be bad if, it's just like, and Zecora is away on vacation forever. Yeah. That would be kind of a bum. But, I do have this, my reply, which I thought myself so witty. Dear mysterious Z, from that place with the creepy trees, the question you bring is rather deep and shouldn't be lost in the heap. Episode 10 will be for many mail. We will save it for an epic tale. AC. I tried my best. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Is it
your best.
Is it my turn? No, it is my turn. All right, let's do it.
It is your turn.
Let's see. All right, this one's from Keanu. I'm just bad with stuff right now. Thanks, guys, for supporting the community with a great show. I've been fascinated by the MLP FIM fandom since I joined. I listen to your show's commentary and episodes for the show while I'm at work. Probably the only one in the fisheries field that listens to My Little Pony Friendship is Magic while booming ponds or counting fish. And lately, I be reading fanfic and listening to shows on my way to jury duty. Thank Luna for the great stuff. And a question for your team. If you could have the magic ability to influence or create your own canon event into Season 2, what would it be? You can tell the FIM fandom has grown more or less self-sufficient. A month with no official content, and the fandom grows more and more each day. Thanks to Pony-chan, EQD, your show, the Diamond Dogs, and all the artists out there that create new content on a daily basis. But is there a concern that we would be growing faster than we can really handle? I guess the question is, do you think we all should take a second to ask ourselves who we are and what we represent to the show and others? So let's start with the first one. If you had the magical ability to influence Season 2, what would you do, Chef Sandy? Besides add us to the show, which would be amazing.
It's like suddenly there's an extra building on the Apple family farm. I would say I'd like to see some more background ponies get a chance to shine. Lyra and Bonbon and Vinyl Scratch, and get like an episode that's like the main 6 are out of town and it's just background ponies.
Yeah, that could be really fun. I agree that playing with some of the background ponies and giving them some more personalities would just kind of flesh out the world even more. That would be rather fun. Besides adding us to it, I just had an idea. Besides the Apple family having a new building there. What was it? Oh, this is bad. Canon event. Oh, yeah, I would like a Halloween episode. I would love to see everyone, them having some sort of Hallows Eve event where there's trick-or-treating and stuff like that. Pinky keeps on showing up with different costumes throughout the show, just never can make a decision on it. And, some silliness happens. I would love, because Halloween's one of my favorite, I would love to see a Halloween show.
Actually, something else would be good. The winter moon celebration. They have the summer sun, winter moon, the winter solstice, and have Luna there. Raise the moon.
Luna goes there, raises the moon, looks down. There's no one in the crowd. She'd tear.
Poor sad Luna.
It's sometimes just funny to just feed it. Like, I am so powerful, nobody cares.
Or it could be the opposite. There's a massive rave that night at the castle.
That would be cool.
Vinyl Scratch and Pinky running the lights, and
we're gonna party till daybreak. And Celestia's just like, I need sleep.
Yes.
That would be rather fun. Yeah, those are two really fun ideas I'd love to see in season 2 if we had all powerful, if we had creative control. All right, next one. So what do you think? Do you think we should take a moment to slow down and figure out what our goals are? I guess that would be the aim for the second question.
Okay, so this is something that has cropped up a bit more recently in the past couple of weeks. And you've got these people that are like, oh my God, X, Y, and Z is ruining the fandom. If it's not Pony-chan, it's something else, or it's people doing X or Y, or, oh no, people are in, certain IRC channels, or it's Fem-chan, or, oh no, Equestria Daily is posting too much shipping. Everything is ruining everything forever. And this is me being a cynical old person who's been involved in various fandoms since I was like 13. And it's the nature of fandoms to have a period where everyone's like, oh my God, somebody is ruining it. I think what we should do is take a minute and evaluate for ourselves what the fandom as a whole means to us individually. It's like, for me, I like the show, I like the animation, I enjoy the art and really love the music. The fiction's pretty fun, and I do a podcast. What other people do does not affect my enjoyment of ponies. Whether or not people are dressing up, making full-body costumes or anything of the like, that doesn't affect me. And I'm not going to let that affect my appreciation for the show. I think it is incorrect and really a waste of everybody's time to try and force anyone else's hand on what they like and do not like. This kind of thing has happened with an anime and every other fandom under the sun, and it's part of the growing pains of the fandom. So ask ourselves who we are and what we represent to the show is a personal thing and not something that this overarching fandom would agree on at any point, other than we like ponies.
We do like ponies, though. That is kind of an overarching thing. I mean, yeah, your mileage varies. We have a community here that, I mean, let's not really munge the issue. You've got people who like animation. You've got people who are from various Chan boards that picked up on the memes. You've got furries, sorry to say, and you've got, an anime crowd, which are also kind of the part of the animation things, just as, known clusters, not including people who have gotten pulled in from all other sources. So something's not your bag. Okay, cool. It's not your thing. Let them do their thing. What doesn't hurt you, I'm sorry if this is kind of turning ranty.
Well, I mean, this is something that needs to be said, though. We've seen the threads on Equestria Daily that get all heated about some pony did this, some pony did that. It's a bunch of heat and no light. People getting mad over something they're not going to be able to change and something that's only going to cause fighting within the community. I mean, yeah, if somebody was going around and posting, Clopfix on little kids' message boards, that would be a problem, but even then that would be one person and not representative of the community. Yeah. And, I think people need to get out of the mentality that your fandom's not okay. It's like, I like ponies, but at least I'm not a furry. Or, I like furry, but man, those ponies.
Oh, God, or, anime. Oh,
anime. I love I'm a member of the, Society for, SCA, but man, those Ren Fair people can just go right to pony hell.
LARPers for life, forget you,
It's not productive and only fosters to add, extra conflict into your life. And honestly, who has time for that?
As I like to say, to steal from a popular TV show to which I have loved and still have love for, repeat to yourself, it's just a show. I should really just relax.
There we go.
There you go. All right, let's move on.
So let's move on to the next email. lighten this topic up a bit.
Ooh, shake it out. Shake it out.
Shake it
Ooh,
out.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh, sweaty back.
Step
sweaty
off
back.
that soapbox, Twilight. Actually, that would be me, really. But okay, I'll read the next email. This one's from Foolish. With Foolish here, I got my mom into ponies. She, being an elementary school counselor, has told me that she will use them as lessons for her students. I think it may be the best thing to ever happen at a school ever, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. In other news, I'm an avid weapon fan and always wear my 50s Dutch Army jacket when I go out and do stuff. I recently purchased a Rainbow Dash Brony patch that will be sewing on to where the rank is supposed to go. Touting an AK-74U has never been as manly as now. Much love, Foolish.
20% cooler, obviously.
So, I mean, even commandos love pony.
Yeah, I actually, for the elementary school counselor, I do have a story related to the roommate that we have here at the apartment with me and with my girlfriend. Our roommate does have a mom who is a teacher, and she makes awards at the end of the school year. And I brought, her into the whole, well, not the mom, but the roommate into the fandom and kind of showed all the episodes. And she loves it because before this, she was watching VeggieTales, and I think this is a better outlet to go.
Oh, man, VeggieTales.
This is much better than VeggieTales. Anyway, so what happened was her mom was just like, I have awards, and there's this one girl I can't figure out what to give her, but she needs an award because of just how she acts. And she's kind of crazy, and she says weird things, and she'll burst out in the song, and she'll just, she's just kind of nuts, and she sometimes gets everybody annoyed around her. And my roommate just goes, that sounds a lot like Pinkie Pie. Like Pinkie Pie? And then brought her mom, showed that, and officially gave that girl the Pinkie Pie award. Like, gave a Pinkie Pie award. And since then, I guess ponies have gone crazy over there, and, her brothers are into it now, and it's all oatmeal. But, yeah, very, very cool. That's kind of a side story, but cool for the representing. It's always fun just finding out the weird ways that you can spread the disease.
It's the Brony virus.
The Brony contagion. All right, we got Sergeant Grub here. Thanks, Sergeant Grub. Nice little short one. I like to start by saying, as the title suggests, that I love the show you guys do. It's incredibly fun to listen to, and I always find myself awaiting the next episode. You guys also asked for questions for your next show, which you two are bravely doing by yourselves. I have one. What exactly do you look for when you read? What kind of tags do you look for? Is it mention of your favorite character? Is it style of writing, like grimdark, normal, crossover? Or does the description have to catch your eye? So what do you go for, Chef?
I look for the tags. I like the normal, crossovers, and comedy are usually something that'll catch my eye. And a good description goes a long way. Because if it's something that catches my eye in the first few paragraphs, I'll probably finish reading it. The favorite characters, is always a big deal. I'll read most things that feature Dash because she is my favorite pony. And, some, if it's an Applejack-centric fic, I'll be like, we'll see. I do discriminate based upon pony in the story.
Yeah, don't be an Apple hater.
Oh, I don't hate her. She's just not my favorite pony. And I'm more interested in developing the character of, say, Dash or whatever than, this is a theoretical, I guess.
No problem.
I'll read fiction. I like lots of the fan fiction that's produced. One thing that I will specifically stay away from, sad Grimdark War. I don't want to read that.
You know what? A good sad fic sometimes is just a great cleanser. I will say I don't do it often because, unfortunately, I find a lot of sad fic is very formulaic.
It has to be a good fic and not, and then they all died.
Yeah, that's unfortunately what I find a lot of sad fic is just like, and Spike is sad because he's a dragon and he lives for a long time and he misses, you see a lot of and then they all died. Yeah, that happens a lot on sad fic. But there are some that's just like, okay, that It means to, just in this kind of a similar way that Grimdark is meant to bring about an emotional reaction. That's what Sadfic does, except I don't like the emotional reactions from Grimdarks. You know, that's just, no, I don't want it. No, just keep, no. If ones I look for normal. On the occasion, I'll go, I'm feeling ship. Maybe just to see where this goes and how they can make that like leap of like, okay, this is how these two would get together. Of like, okay, all right, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
I mean, the party never ends was like with that. I was just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Butterscotch Sundae in that particular example was crazy.
Yeah, that was
12 chapters of madness.
Yeah, that she is good at that thing she does.
The thing she do.
What I also look for, let's see, favorite character. You know, if I'm feeling mainly not the main six. If somebody's like, "Hey, dude, this is a great vinyl scratch one," I'll be like, "Yes, give, yeah, that's cool." I want to get more information about the side characters. And unfortunately, I do have to say, at least a 4-star. Kind of at least a 4-star, because if it's something where I'm going to be stumbling over grammatical errors, it's just going to take me right out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Pro tip: run your story through a spell checker, please.
Or
Wagon has 1G. Just gonna say,
yeah.
You know, that's. But yeah, definitely grammatical errors, spelling errors. Those will really detract from a story where it's like, it could be the best story in the world, but if you can't tell it coherently, it's no good to anybody.
Yeah. As I said, if you ever need help with your fic, you could always go over to Pony-chan and go join in Midnight Shadow's little thing where he helps you write fics. Hooray! Go find
He's
that in the
a pretty
fic
cool
room.
guy. He writes stories and isn't afraid of anything.
That is true. Okay, let's move on. Yours next, Catherine from England. This one came in.
Dear AC and Chef Sandy, after much deliberation, I have decided to take up your challenge. So my question is, what type of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic game are you most looking forward to? For example, MMO, fighting, dating sim, or visual novel? Thank you so much for doing the podcast every week. I think that without the awesome community that we have, people would just see the show and be like, oh, hey, look, ponies. The animation's pretty nice. And then it would just blow over. But because we have this amazing fandom filled with so many devoted and talented people, it just keeps going, and it feels so amazing to be part of that. Pony up, Catherine.
In England. I say, if I had to, man, an MMO is so, just like a free roam. You don't have to do quests or anything. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't usually do the Second Life much. But, you know, the whole, like, Bronyville place that they've made in Second Life just to hang out and watch movies. Kind of cool if I could get into Second Life and the jankiness that sometimes comes with it.
Yeah. I mean, I have to give them props for that sim. That's really cool. But, like, Second Life, I have a pretty beefy machine, and it still runs terribly with the main client on my system.
I don't know. There's too many old nightmares of Second Life go through my brain every time I load it up, and it's just like, oh, no, not you again.
Frank, please go.
I can't do this. I can't put myself through this anymore. If it's going to go through game, let's see. You know what? I'm okay. You go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, it's your turn.
No. I insist. Okay. Yeah, we are being very proper and British here. This is Catherine.
Oh, please. I'm looking forward to the Fighting is Magic getting finished. It seems like they have the backgrounds done. They have like the baseline frame data probably, and it's just a matter of applying the characters. What I want to see is one of these games finish. I don't want to see this languish and eventually fade away after 10 years. Let's not Duke Nukem Forever this, please.
Come on. It's time for ponies.
No.
Shake it, Twilight.
Fluttershy is my waifu. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I have to agree. One that does finish would be good. Just so you know, with your visual novel thing, there is a slight version based off of the on the official hub site, and I sent a great one to Sandy where it's just what was it, like Applejack, Fluttershy, and Twilight Sparkle go and decide to go over here while Spike follows them. Twilight buries Spike in a shallow grave. Just kidding, he's okay.
Yeah, there actually is. I think there's actually a pony dating sim too that people are actually working on.
Yeah, they sent us an email. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I understand it's going to have multiple versions for your taste and flavor. Yeah, I mean, cool for that.
Hey, it floats their boat.
It's a floaty boat.
It's the internet. That's all I can say.
You know, good for, if it's a fun, like there are some dating games that are really fun and that, you know, you can sit there and be like, yeah, this is cool. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure game.
I will be more than happy to give them the benefit of the doubt once they show me a completed product.
Just as long as one of the endings ends with like us podcasting and there's a bro hoof and explosions and muffins and bunnies flying everywhere. I'm going to reuse that. Okay, let's move on. From games. Oh, it's mine. Hey, we're at the bottom one. Woohoo, we made it through. We just got to finish up a little more. All right.
Our bodies were ready.
And the most crazy email, which I saved for last, which is from I Am Filled with Solutions. The actual name. Which pony would win a hot dog eating contest? Follow up. Which condiments would each pony use to make the hot dogs nice and slippery? Love the show. Left you 5 stars on iTunes. Bro hoof to apple cider and Chef Sandy.
Well, the answer is clearly Pinkie Pie.
Well,
I mean, she can eat a whole cake in one bite with her horribly distending jaw and extendo tongue. Clearly, no pony could stand to against her in a hot dog eating contest.
You missed the obvious answer, which is no pony. They're hot dogs, you fiend.
You know, she says that mustard in a hot dog eating contest is in Fall Weather Friends.
Oh.
You know, it raises questions.
That is
there are
true.
questions to be raised.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're veggie dogs. They're veggie dogs.
Okay, they clearly are veggie dogs.
That also explains the sandwich with the meat in it during the tea time in Bird and the Hoof.
Yeah.
It's veggie burgers.
Yeah. They have pigs just for having pigs, you know. They don't, you know, they just have pigs that have pigs.
They're slightly carnivorous ponies. Wait.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you can't really, Pinkie does have that black hole of a stomach. You kind of have to state that she would eat every one of them and not feel a thing.
Yep.
She would have some sort of weird condiment. She would be like, I don't even think putting mayonnaise on it would be weird enough. She would be putting on like
hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Hot sauce. Done. That's where she gets that temporal power. Okay.
Yep.
Moving from this, we had some fans who wanted to bring up some particular links. They pretty much just said, hey, could you pimp our stuff? So we shall do that. I'll take care of, tell you what, you take care of that. I'll hit the fix suggestions because some of those are specific.
Well, there's a lot of those. Also, as our previous email said, go on iTunes, give us a review, give us a rating. Some hater McHater Pants felt the need to give us a 1-star, just like they clicked 1 star.
What a naysayer.
Without a review, just a naysayer. They're a jerk. And I mean pants. As for the links, so Squirrel has sent in the ponyfictionarchive.net. This is in our show notes. It is a pony fiction archive.
.net.
With, there's an archive by title, author, character, genre, rating, and just a random. There's archive genre. They've got adventure, comedy, crossover, horror, human crossover, romance, slice of life, suspense, and tragedy. And by rating, that goes up to NC-17?
Yep.
Oh my.
You can... Wow.
Let's see.
No. Moving on, while Chef takes a look at that, I will bring up the link for Nerdcore Pegasus, which was he wanted to pimp Pony Club on Facebook. if you want to, oh God, that face. If you want to, if you are on Facebook and want to join, they are looking for members. So just join over with the group Pony Club and join some other bronies with their brony-ish things.
So yes, this has a lot of stories, and it does include the more adult things.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to go through these fix suggestions kind of quick, so we can go through this. And also, I know a little bit of this. So Escher has a ton of suggestions. So we always do our fix suggestions. So it's time to reach out and give you some of the fans. Ballad of Twilight Sparkle. Half the Day is Night. Memories of the Distant Past. It's a dangerous, dangerous business going out the door. And Antipodes, Antipodes. There you go. I knew that I was going to destroy that one. He has breakdowns on all of them on the show notes.
Then Sergeant Grubb suggested, I Ain't Got No Accent. Milan suggests Junior Speedsters Forever.
And they sent those two sent those in specifically for our fan Vanilla Bean, looking for episode fix. So Vanilla, check out those two because I know Junior Speedsters Forever, and that's a good one if you want to feel a little bit better about Gilda. Going on, let's see, we have Hunter, and Hunter just kind of blasted us with a few. Hunter has My Little Test Subject, which is a Portal crossover, The Night That Never Ended, The Ballad of Twilight Sparkle, The Twilight War. Wow, that's a lot of Twilight. Beware Chapter 2, The Cake is a Lie. The Pony Psychology series, which I've heard many great things about. Have to dig into that at some point. And just various Doctor Who's fix. And
yes, I have to say that I have to get some feedback from Inky on his opinion of those Who fix. After all, he's been a massive Who fan since he's been alive. So I'm really interested to hear from a Who fan about the quality of the Who fix.
I think 12 is great. I love 12. 12 is a great episode. Is a great one. I can't pimp that one enough for Who fic. And the last one was by a fan who, as far as I could tell from the email, just wanted us to say the name Starry Skies.
Starry Skies.
Starry Skies.
Starry Skies.
Hi, Starry Skies. Hey, she said Starry Skies, too.
Fantastic.
There you go, Starry Skies.
So, now on to the one cool thing.
We're done. We can leave. We're done with episode 10. We only got to do this in 10 more episodes. All right. My cool thing is the fact that I recently got an email from SF Gate blog, which is I might have gotten that wrong. It's a local news blog in the San Francisco Greater Bay Area, and they want to interview a brony, and they sent me an email, and I went, okay, cool. I don't have anything to hide. I'm into this, and if anybody's going to give a good picture of this crazy fandom, then I'm gonna put myself forward there. Rather be mocked and but out there and exposing what we'd like than have them go, God, look at these pedophiles. They're so weird. So she sounds cool. She actually was like, which episodes would you suggest? And I was like, oh, here's this, and tell you what, here's some 720p download links. You should totally catch them like that. They're awesome.
Yep.
So look in the future. I'll link you guys when that comes up.
Yep. Once it happens, the internet will know.
We will be stars.
Or everyone will hate us forever.
Yes.
Either way, go for broke.
Yep.
My cool thing is that at Anthrocon over this past weekend, love them or hate them, a couple of people made a Rainbow Dash and Applejack costumes. They are true to the characters. They look really good. And, even if furries make you shiver in your panties, give the video a look. It is pretty cool, and it shows a great level of dedication to the fandom of the Brony fandom, that they would spend the time, effort, and copious amounts of cash to make these costumes. There's a video link. The audio is kind of iffy, But, you get to see the suits in action, and I think they're pretty darn cool.
And word is when they first got debuted a few nights ago, the room that they were in lost their mind. Like, just completely went insane. So, I mean, they're good stuff. However, just appreciate some good work. It's cool stuff. It's a one cool thing. You have to at least admit that.
All right. So,
episode 10 is done.
Wrapped up.
It's in a bow basket something. We've done it. We're in double digits.
Indeed.
Officially done. So now we can look at next episode, which, if I'm correct, I think we may have, and not from the show, but we are going to look at having a voice actor, a professional voice actor, on the show explaining the art of speaking, and me just going, oh, how do I do it? I want it so bad. So, yes. It's going to be a fun one. There will be much words from me. If you think I'm wordy on shows before, you ain't heard it yet.
I think you'll probably hear about half a dozen from me, and some of that will be my introduction for that episode.
Hi, my name is Chef Sandy. I am going to go walk out and then say goodbye once the show is done. No, I'll be nice. I'll be good. So anyway.
You have to share the guest a little bit.
Yeah, okay. You say so. All right, and that'll do us. Thank you very much for listening through episode 10. Want to just forward you across to BronyShow.com, where you can check out our stuff, check out some of the blogs we've got going up. M's got some great, little weekly quotes he's putting up now, so if you want to check those out, some really interesting stuff coming out of those, and really well received, by the way. If you want to give us iTunes reviews, which we highly suggest so we can give that naysayer number 1 star poopy pants a little bit of kick in the shins, definitely leave us a review and say cool things. I want to thank all of those that have said really cool stuff to us before, including, I'm just going to read a few of them, just to give. Thanks to Chase. Thanks to T-Dude. Thanks to, is that Owlicious? Thanks to Furlong. Thanks to all you guys. I'm just looking through it, but we all see it, and we all really appreciate your reviews on iTunes. It kicks us up higher, and we need to, we need to show this Kevin Smith dude that he can't have all the podcasts, right? Ugh. All of his bad talk. And, you know what? That'll do us. I think there's nothing else that needs to be said. Go watch the show, subscribe, and that'll do us for this week. We will catch you foals later. Sleep well, bronies.
Adios.
Look here, our 3 little ponies, ready to sing for this crowd. Listen up, 'cause here's our story. I'm gonna sing it very loud. When you're a younger pony and your flank is very bare, feels like the sun will never come when your cutie mark's not there. So the 3 of us will fight the fight. There is nothing that we fear. We'll have to figure out what we'll do next till our cutie marks are here. We are the cutie mark crusaders on the quest to find out who we are, and we'll never stop our journey, not until we have our cutie mark. Really right, and you know just what you're supposed to do, and your talent comes to light, but it's not as easy as it sounds, and that waiting's hard to do, so we test our talents everywhere until our face turns blue. We are the cutie mark crusaders on the quest to find out who we are, and we will never stop the journey, not until we have a
You must. You must. You must.